Can we just have a continuation from the video from yesterday real quick? Because I want to address something that I received a little bit too many comments about because it was very concerning, at least in my eyes. And that was so many people in my comment section yesterday trying to tell me that I used the wrong word when I was talking about James Charles. Now, I never said the word out of my mouth, but it was in my title. People were like, well, that's not the Webster Dictionary definition of that. And technically a PDF file is somebody who's into prepubescent kids. I am so sorry that I didn't use the correct word when describing James Charles, at least in your opinion. Because in my opinion, any adult that is trying to get into any kind of sexual relationship or have sexual contact with somebody under the age of 18 is the word that I used in my title. Now, there were people saying like, it's actually not a P3DO, it's a hebephile. I've never even heard the word hebephile before, honestly, honest to God. I think that regular people out there, when they're discussing someone trying to do something nasty with a minor, they use P3DO. Like, am I crazy? Is that crazy? Like, could you honestly imagine if James Charles tried to sue people for saying that about him after he came online and said sorry to his victims and said that he was desperate? Can you imagine him standing in court and saying, Your Honor, they called me a P3DO and that is not what I am. I am a hebephile. I am a hebe. Like, get fucked. In the words of Peter Mon, get fucked, bitch. If you are so upset about the fact that I used a descriptor for James Charles that technically the definition is this, get the fuck over it. Before I go any further in this video, I do want to remind everyone that Gerard Cosmetics is having a buy one, get one free sale right now. That is equal or lesser value. You just have to add it to your cart. You can mix and match. I did want to clarify that. This would be a great time to check out Hair AF if you have been wanting to, because you get 2 for the price of 1. I know a lot of you out there have been wanting to try out the Emily D. Baker collaboration with Gerard Cosmetics. That is on sale as well. And you know something else that I actually see a lot of people raving about online, Carly Bible being one of them, is the whitening, lightening, teeth whitening stuff that they had, which I believe was actually what started Gerard Cosmetics. I think it was whitening, lightening, and then it turned into a cosmetic company. I am going to place an affiliate link down below for you guys, but please do not feel obligated to click that link. You can just go to gerardcosmetics.com if you want and check out the sale that way. Just add everything that you want to your cart. Again, it's equal or lesser value to get the buy one, get one. If you decide to check out the sale, let me know down below what you decided to pick up. And now let's get back to the drama. And while we're on the topic of James Charles, we might as well talk about Jaclyn Hill real quick, because you know, yesterday in her video, she supported James Charles brand Painted. Not as a predator apologist. I'm sure she doesn't like having her name next to that title, but you should get a badge, bitch, because that's what you are. Well, she posted over on her Instagram story that she is in LA. She posted one of those photos from the airplane, probably first class, because you know Jaclyn would not fly anything less. And she said, hi, LA. And that got the internet talking, like a few people over on Twitter. Like, when I say the internet's talking, girl, it's not a lot. It's probably the same amount of people that DM her asking her what her lip combo is. You know, when Jaclyn Hill posts on her Instagram story, I'm getting so many DMs. No, you're not. No, you're not. But it did get a few people talking, and they are wondering if Jaclyn Hill is over in LA and if she's going to pop up with James Charles somehow, trying to just say like a you to everyone that's talking about her. But also people are wondering if Jaclyn Hill is actually going to go on Trisha Paytas's podcast. Now this is problematic, Trisha. Okay. I literally had to Google in my phone where I can find a crow to eat. Okay, I Googled it. I can't find anything. I can find where I can put food for a crow in my yard, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to catch it myself. But I think that it would be a very bad idea for Trisha Paytas to have Jaclyn Hill on her podcast. Jaclyn Hill is a known liar. Jaclyn Hill is a known story fabricator. Jaclyn Hill is a known gaslighter. Jaclyn Hill, we could just add so many. Jaclyn Hill is a predator apologist, Trisha. You talk about all the time how like protect the kids and shit. So if you had Jaclyn Hill on that, ooh, it's not good. And the next thing that I want to talk about is coming from Mama Tot. No, she's not involved in any drama. She just disavowed somebody over on her TikTok, but I want to talk about it because I did a little bit more of like digging to see like exactly what she was talking about. There is a man over on TikTok. His name is Dr. Kenny Smiles. Now what he does is he will pick people on social media. He will bring them in and he will give them a life-changing smile. It's actually a very nice thing that he was doing until I saw this message right here. And Mama Tot said in her video, maybe he has people like actually like working for him and messaging back. So we aren't exactly sure if this was him that sent this message to this lady. However, a lady reached out to Dr. Kenny Smile, sent in her pictures, gave her story, all that kind of stuff. And they were messaging back and forth. And he was telling her that she needed basically like 10 more photos, send me this, send me that. And at the bottom, after he asked for the more photos where he wanted to see the size, shape, and stuff like that, please, he said, this show is about a lot of things beyond teeth. So that will help me. The final message that was shown is clothing optional with a skull next to it. So you know what this is giving to me? If this was Dr. Kenny Smile, and again, we don't know if this was him that sent the message or if this was someone on his staff. This is very giving much creepy, and a reason why a lot of people don't want to get put under at the dentist, because you always hear those like horror stories of people getting groped and shit. That's what this is giving. This is disgusting, Dr. Kenny Smile. We're going to need an explanation as to what actually went down, because Mama Tot uploaded a video talking about this, and she said he has helped out many of my tater tots, and he has helped them with their smile, and he has changed their lives, and that is great. However, she cannot support somebody that is sending a message like this, and he needs to explain it. And I agree with her, Dr. Kenny Smile. What the
I'm tired of people disappointing me like you just wouldn't believe, okay? I have been disappointed every single day since I don't know, like 10 days straight now, probably. So here's the thing. I appreciate every single thing that Dr. Kenny has done for a lot of people. And I know that he has changed lives in such a beautiful way, And I will always be grateful and thankful for what he did for the 3 people that won the Mama Tot Smiles. I will forever be thankful, and so will they. And I am not speaking for they. I am speaking for me. But after what I just saw, I can no longer publicly support Dr. Kenny at all, actually. And I understand that when your account gets so large, other people might help you at times. My girlfriend Lissa will answer a message for me if I tell her to. So I get that. We need a little bit of help. I've got a triple large account. So the fact that I only have one person that helps me, we're already like overloaded. So if this was not you that answered this message in that manner, you need to address it. If it was you, you certainly need to address it and understand that you're just too damn grown to be speaking that way, and how unprofessional and how degrading to somebody. When it comes to somebody's dental care, that is some of the people's most biggest insecurities, and they are already opening themselves up because they're extremely vulnerable. So to be spoken to in any other manner other than, hey, you're safe with me here, is unacceptable. So please fix this, please. Nobody else deserves to be hurt in any type of way by somebody else's words in such a vulnerable state like that regarding their dental care. I'm really tired of being disappointed by people. So yeah, I can no longer support.
Y'all, the drama between Trisha Paytas and Jeffree Star is getting downright nasty, because Jeffree seems to be going on a campaign against Trisha Paytas, trying to clear his name of this drama, even though there was literal proof of his hairstylist saying the exact same things that Trisha said were said on that trip. Let's go back to Vegas, shall we? Because Jeffree Star is saying that nothing that Trisha said in her video, where she said that she was being fat shamed, her skin was being made fun of. I believe this. I believe that you said those things about Trisha, Jeffree, and let me tell you why. Because you were on Bunny's podcast and you were quick to throw shade at Trisha and have like a really nasty dig, and in my opinion, it showed the person that you really are, not this facade that you have going over on TikTok where people believe you're just the kindest, gentlest soul out there walking children in nature. You said on Bunny's podcast that Trisha didn't even like kids, and now she has one. That's so crazy to me. That's a nasty comment to make, number one. Number two, on this live stream that you did with Rich Lux, you love to bring up the fact, and you actually dragged your friend Jaclyn Hill, the one that you've been wearing her gaudy ass earrings, you know, the ones that turn people's ears green, the Jaclyn Roxanne, the business that's closing down. Girl, you wore that Jaclyn Roxanne. Girl, do you know how funny it is to see a multi-millionaire wearing Jaclyn Roxanne? Like, come on. Come on. We all know that once that camera was turned off, you were taking that shit off, probably putting some ointment on your ear, girl, because it was turning a little red. But what you said on Rich's live stream was another disgusting thing. You literally brought up and weaponized the fact that Trisha Paytas had just come off a drug binge during that time, and Jeffree stepped in as the white knight, the savior. You know how Jeffree likes to pretend that all of his ex-friends were the ones that were bad, and trust me, a lot of those ex-friends are shit, but Jeffree is definitely one of those people where he does no wrong. He never has any fault in anything.
So I'm down to answer 3 questions.
Okay.
But before you ask anything, anyone is allowed to talk about any part of their past, especially when they've made peace with it. Now, when someone lies, you're allowed to defend yourself. If someone thinks otherwise, go fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. What triggered me was I don't remember.
So I'm sitting here editing my video right now, and I'm playing this clip where Jeffree Star says that he's allowed to talk about his past, which he's completely right about. He's allowed to talk about any experience that he's ever had. He says that he's made peace with this. But what triggered him is the fact that Trisha on her podcast said, I don't remember. So how are you going to tell people that you made peace with it and you're past it, but you're getting triggered by the fact that someone says they don't remember the drama? Maybe the person saying that they don't remember the drama is saying that because they don't really want to talk about it and they don't really want to get back into it. That's just my opinion.
Now, I was on the trip. I lived it. I breathed it. No one else did. So you all can have opinions, perfectly fine, just like I do, but no, you were not there. I was such a good, loving friend. People keep wanting to mention the gifts. Who cares about any of that? Minus that, I was her real friend. She had just came off of doing with Jaclyn Hill's ex-husband, and I saved her from the trenches and took her away from it. As she admitted, her skin was bad, she was coming off of drugs, and she was not in the right headspace. So I graciously took her in my nest, showered her with not only affection and love, but things to distract her. I know Mariah Carey doesn't buy friendship. I don't need to buy anyone's friendship. I loved and cared about her and got backstabbed for the 100th time. So no one else lived that but me. So you people in here, there's amazing people watching. Rich is awesome. But there's a few people in here, you're just trolling. You're mentioning things that are so irrelevant, and I'm allowed to speak my piece.
No one knew that. Nobody knew that till what you just said right now. Wow.
No one knew that. So here's the problem. She vlogged the entire trip. We had the best time. And when she flipped on us, yes, Hair by Jay went crazy. Do I stand by everything he said? No, and I've said that before. But when you're angry, like I have been before, and how we all have been, but you guys were never recorded, is we've all lashed out. We've all said things we don't mean. And yes, his was recorded, and he was very vicious and ugly about it.
Editing Nick here because I'm at the part where Jeffree Star is talking about how Hair by Jay was on his live stream and it was recorded and people lash out all the time, but the difference is their stuff's not being recorded. He chose to go on the live stream, number one. Number two, in that live stream, he said something along the lines of, why do people do that? They'll focus on like 80% of the bad of someone, but they never want to turn around and tell you what the good is. That's just a little weird to me because he didn't say in that live stream, at least from the clips that we've seen online from it being recorded, that that's not what you said at all. He actually re-said those things. And then he wanted people to wonder why she didn't tell about the good about you, but she only told the bad. So I think I'm a little confused.
But he was hurt because she literally lied. When we were going through the casinos of Vegas, there was fans chasing me down, and I had to move quicker.
So you brought up that Trisha Paytas was on a drug binge, and you were so kind that you invited her on this trip to Las Vegas. You took her on a shopping spree. You took her to see Mariah Carey. You did all this stuff. She put up a vlog and said how amazing it was. She made a vlog, Jeffree, before it came out, the nasty shit that you were saying about her. The nasty shit that you were saying about her skin and about her face. And I do believe that because you were so quick to try to throw her drug binge, her relapse in her face. That's disgusting, Jeffree. But also something that I find very interesting about Jeffree going onto Rich Lux's live stream is, I know probably better than a lot of people fucking out there, that Jeffree likes to keep Rich around only when he needs something. And what does Jeffree Star need right now? He needs to drag Trisha Paytas. He needs to make everybody believe that Trisha Paytas was lying about everything that was said about him, because for some reason, Jeffree is still thinking about that Vegas trip. The stuff that Trisha Paytas alleged that you said about her in those videos, Jeffree, didn't hurt you the way that you're trying to let on. So this whole like campaign that you're doing to try to make people believe that you're just this innocent victim, you're a savior, you were trying to help her, girl, give it the up. I honestly feel like Rich was finally getting away from that Jeffree Star payroll narrative, because Rich was putting out some videos where he was kind of saying like, you know, Jeffree Star, he's done bad shit himself, blah, blah, blah. Here we go again, Rich. You literally stepped right back into it. Your credibility that was going up is about to go back down because of Jeffree Star. You need to realize, because again, I know probably better than a lot of people out there, you guys don't normally talk unless Jeffree Star needs something. You guys don't normally talk to the point where that Louis Vuitton event that was in Texas that Jeffree goes to all the time, I guess like the ranch or wherever it is. I think it's actually close to here. You showed up at that event trying to make it seem like you and Jeffree were there together, but there wasn't even one photo. Jeffree was there at a different time. But I also seem to remember, and honestly, the reason that I even wanted to talk about this is because a lot of people out there apparently have amnesia, or they're just like choosing to forget certain parts of the story, and Rich is one of them included. Rich, you called me twice And we talked about what Jeffree Star did when you gifted him that Hermes. It was like a click clack. Maybe it was, I don't know what it was actually. All I know is it was the cheapest thing in the store, according to Jeffree Star. Now that's what came out, that Jeffree, after you left the hotel room, handed it over to someone and said, here, it's the cheapest thing in the hotel room. Who wants it? And like gave it away. I remember you asking me if you should be offended and if you should be upset about that. And if it was actually rude that Jeffree Star did that. And I told you, yes, it was rude. And then I said to you, why the f are you gifting Jeffree Star something from Hermes? Somebody who has every single item in the world. Why are you doing that? That's giving ass suck. That's giving ass kiss. Now, Jeffree did say in Rich's live stream that the guy Tab that uploaded the video where he was discussing all these things that Jeffree Star was saying in private, which I do believe Tab, but I do also believe Jeffree that this Tab guy was in love with him. And when Jeffree turned him down, that's when the guy decided, you know what? I was okay with it then, but now I'm going to upload this video and I'm going to try to take Jeffree Star down. So I do agree with Jeffree in the fact that that guy seemed like he was like a little bit in love with him. I'm going to be completely honest. This whole Vegas drama that's being rehashed is so stupid to me. Like, and for what? Just so people start talking about you on the internet, you get some clicks, you get some views, you get some attention. Like, what story are you trying to tell, Jeffree? Because literally there are videos where people can back up what they are saying happened on that trip. There was another person on that trip that came out and confirmed the stuff that you were saying as well, but I'm sure that they're gonna just be like somebody that was obsessed with you and they're just lying. But with all that said, everyone, that is it for this video. I hope that you did enjoy it. I know it was a bit ranty, a bit rambly, but I still hope that you enjoyed it. Please leave me a rain emoji down below because we are still overcast. We are having some fall weather right now. I think next week we go back up to the 90s, but honestly, I will take it. I will take anything that is not 116 degrees, and I will see you guys all in my next video.